The sun is out, the skies are blue, there's not a cloud to spoil the view, but I'm freezing my bollocks off. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this is to test a few things. The first thing is I've now got a Firefly Q6 stuck on the top of my helmet on the peak, and I've had to change it and put a GoPro lens on because the original lens isn't very wide angle, I didn't find, and it didn't work very well. The second thing I've done is I've put a microphone into the helmet itself, which is right in front of my mouth, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. And the third thing I want to do is discuss with myself, because you're just listening, or talk about my YouTube channel in general and the future of the hobby, I suppose. And the reason I'm doing this is because some people have said that when I do flights and stuff like that, I should talk about the flight. So I'm riding my bike now, and I'm going to talk about the bike, and I'm going to talk about everything else because it's just boring otherwise. And I'm sorry my voice is shaking, but that's what happens when you go over bumps. Now, I've done a few modifications. Number one, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a phone holder there. Oh, you can see me, look. There. I've done that. I've beefed up some of the wires because the wiring was getting a bit warm. It wasn't getting hot, but it was just getting a bit warm. What else have I done? I've upgraded to hydraulic disc brakes, which is an absolute necessity, and now I don't get any brake fade like I used to. Going back to that video that I did, which was a bit stupid, I really do admit that it was stupid. Going back to that video, I did 2 runs. I went there and back, and when I stopped, my brakes were smoking. Literally, they were smoking. So I've upgraded to these brakes, and they're more vented brakes, and they don't get hot. Well, they do get hot, but they don't get half as hot. Now, just to keep everybody happy, I usually stay below 30 miles an hour. Occasionally I'll have a bit of a blast and I may do 40, but I don't go over 40, definitely not. Anyway, with the way that the hobby is going in general, with FPV, drones, planes, UAVs, whatever you want to call them, I hate the word drones, by the way. It's going to be impossible for me to fly. There's already laws in place, but they're more advisory than anything. Nobody actually follows them. I'm going to have to take a test to say that I'm safe to fly, but this test is to say that you're safe to fly your drone. Now, I don't fly them anymore because of the stigma attached. If you Google, or if you Googled about 12 months ago, drones and terrorism, you'll see on there it always comes up with the US drones fight terrorism and this, that and the other. If you Google it now, you see a lot of them saying that terrorists are using drones, or they're planning on using drones, and you also find that they're dropping things into prisons and this, that and the other, and it's all used for illicit purpose, which I never do. I've never ever thought, although people have asked me, do you do this? No, I don't. I've never thought about it. It's wrong, and nobody should ever do it. Always fly, never fly in built up areas, never fly over property or people. You know, get out somewhere like I am. So there's that about it. And the other part is I'm not taking a test. I'm just not doing it. Because I don't see why I should have to take a test to do something that I've been doing now for, bloody hell, about 10 or 12 years I think I've been flying. Yeah, I know people are laughing now. Most of it's unsuccessful. Never killed anyone. So I'm not going to be taking the test. Unfortunately, because I won't say the word ambassador. I am, bloody hell, that is bad. Somewhat of a representative for the hobby. Because so many people watch my videos. I've had over, is it 4 million views now, I think, total. Anyway, I'm not taking the test, which means that I'm not going to be able to fly legally. If I fly illegally, I can't put the videos up because it's just advertising, it's just, you know what I mean. So there's that about it. I mean, who's to blame for all this? I personally reckon it's things like Amazon who have advertised drones and stuff, and these kids, parents with unlimited credit card funds and stuff, have said to the kids, oh yes, go on son, go and buy a drone, here's the money. Go and buy it next day. Oh shit! I've got a face full of crap. I need a mud guard. Oh, I've got one. I need a better mud guard. They've basically wrecked it. Kids going out into the gardens and spying on the neighbours and you know, doing that sort of thing. It's just completely bloody wrong. But then again, nothing lasts forever. I'm not overly sad about it because the amount of money I used to spend on it was just phenomenal. I used to spend all of my money on it. And now I spend all my money on my e-bike. So I'm not too sad about it. Things come and go, you know. I used to sit there some mornings and look out the window and think, it's not the weather, it's not the weather, I've built something, I've got to go out and fly it. But unfortunately, anyway, this e-bike, that was the other thing I want to talk about. As I already mentioned, I've got a camera in the peak of this helmet, and another one, and people look at me completely bloody stupid. But the thing is, I'm doing 28-30 mile an hour and I really do value my head. As somebody put in a comment, I can't remember exactly what it was, it's better, what is it now, better looking like a stupid dickhead than a dead dickhead or something like that. This bike I've now done, I think, 150 mile on it. and I'm loving every minute. Although it's bloody cold, my hands are freezing. So I'm loving every minute of it. The only thing I don't like is the speed controller, which I'm waiting for my new Sabaton. Is it the 2150 or something? 150 amp speed controller, which I'm also going to convert and make it into 100 volts so as I can pump that through it. I'm not doing that for the power, I'm doing it for the range, because I've got 4 of these tattoo batteries and I want to put the 4 of them on there. That's the only reason. It's not for the power. Oh, I'm going to have to stop a minute. My fingers are freezing. So cold. Well, it isn't so cold, isn't it? It's about 12 degrees, I think. Oh, is this the posh area? Oh, I'm pedalling. Ow. I can't feel my fingers. What's down here? How much have I used? I've done 6 miles and used 3 ampere hours. Beautiful coming out this time of the morning. Oh, cold hands, cold hands. Strangely now, I've been riding this for, how long? 2 weeks? A week? I don't know. And I really don't care what I look like anymore. It just doesn't really matter, because you're going along and you know you're relatively safe, and if anybody hits you or anybody pulls out on you or anything happens, you know your head's going to be safe. And I really don't care. I really don't care. Now, this has got the same power as a 125cc motorbike. In fact, it's got just a bit more. It's got about 12 horsepower, 13 horsepower. So no, it's not cheating. It gets me out. I enjoy doing it. I really do enjoy doing it. I've been looking for something to get me out on those days where I can't go flying. And now, with the what transpires in the laws, is going to depict whether I do go flying or not. I suppose, yes, it is cheating, but it gets me out, number one. It gets me exercise, because I do, believe it or not, pedal. I do pedal quite a lot. I don't pedal as much as I should, but yes, I do pedal quite a lot. Anyway, this e-bike, as you know, I've done my phone mount. As you know, I've got my crash helmet on, and I've got an external microphone into the helmet, which will probably sound stupid now, but I really don't care. I don't really care about a lot. I care about friends and family. That's probably all I care about. Ah, this is nice. What a dickhead. The brakes, I've got some Clark's brakes, and these Clark's brakes, they're hydraulic. The discs are the same size, which I'm thinking of upgrading and getting bigger discs. I've got some more spacers coming, because the discs, it's hard to explain, but the disc wouldn't go out any further because it was rubbing on the frame, but I couldn't put it in any further because the caliper wouldn't actually bind on it. Did you try and get me then, you tosser? Anyway, I've managed to do it, but it's not a perfect fit yet. Oh yeah, and if I put the disc out any more, there must be 0.5 millimetre gap between the disc and the frame, and if I put it in any more, then the wires, the motor wires, actually catch on the nuts, on the bolts that go into the discs. It's very hard to explain, but I've got some countersink bolts coming, so I can sink them in so the wires won't rub on it, and also some proper aluminium spacers instead of the cheap plastic crap that's in it at the minute. because unfortunately if you don't tighten them 100% the same on both all the way around, you know what I mean, then you get a warped disc. Well, the disc isn't warped, but it actually pulls it in warped. Anyway, I've got these aluminium spacers coming, so I'm going to be using plenty of thread lock. The other thing as well, I am saving for an enduro bike frame, which is basically a mountain bike motorbike. It's an e-bike frame with a swing arm, and I can get a bigger wheel and a bigger tyre on there, because I want bigger tyres, but I don't want it to look like a motorbike. Obviously, the e-bike frame is actually it's got pedals. I suppose it's just a loophole. It's to make it look legal. In actual fact, well, no, it isn't. Oh yeah, incidentally, however many incidentallys have I got? I've got a plaque made for this motor, and it now says Bosch 36 volt 200 watts. So I'm legal. It must be legal because it says Bosch 36 volt 200 watt. Oh look, there's a cycle lane here. Woo! That's something you rarely see in the UK, cycle lanes. See, I can feel this rear disc is slightly warped. It's slightly pulled in on one side. So that's why I've got these discs coming. And off we go. So what I want to know in the comments below, in the comments below, I want to know if you want me to do more of this when I'm on my travels, because I'm out most days. If you don't, I don't care. I will be doing more RC videos until the inevitable happens. See, the sun's coming in now. I will be doing more videos, but I'd need to think of a way that I'm going. I mean, if you don't want me to do these videos, that's fine. I just won't make videos. I don't make videos because I enjoy it. I make videos because other people enjoy it, and I like making people smile. That's the only reason. So it's up to you. If you think I should or I shouldn't.